Welcome back. So, Mr. Oyajimi, you were saying something about two courts of coordinate jurisdiction.
Yes, a court of coordinate jurisdiction. One cannot appeal or cannot overrule the other. So the first-in-time judgment stands.
But there are two different. In fact, they have three different cases instituted by three different people.
Incidentally, I must confess to you, when you look at the judgment of a court, it is determined by the relief taken in by the claimant.
Mm-hmm.
So in all these instances, it depends on what the claims are. But then I am of the view that once the claim is tangential to the earlier judgment, then the other court, the later court, the latter judgment should have told the part, and it's like bringing in confusion in the circumstance.
Okay, such a camera. We have three different court judgments.
Yeah.
One says these documents are forged. The other one says the other two court judgments says the documents are okay. But they are all cases taken up by three different people, all trying to do the same thing. You have been in Abia State. You have been a civil servant, or I assume you're still a civil servant in Abia State. Tell us, how does it work?
I'm not a civil servant.
Okay, but you have been there. You're paying taxes in Abia.
I am a walking encyclopedia of Abia politics and Abia interests.
Sorry, do you pay taxes in Abia?
I pay taxes when I'm in government. I pay taxes through pay as you earn. Those taxes, as my learned friend here know, are deducted as source. When I'm not in government, the tax people will do an evaluation of my earnings and give me what is payable. I may enter government by June. In trying to calculate my tax, they will do pay from June to December and definitely evaluate what I earn from January to June. So, but that's not the issue at stake. And then taking up my brother here about the issue of earlier in time and later in time. You are aware that the issue in Owerri, now, the judgment of the appeal court in Owerri, which says that Governor Ikpeazu's election is valid, is the latest decision on that matter. And of course, I'm sure you know about case law. You know that the last decision by a court of coordinate jurisdiction holds well. You know that in law, that if you are going to talk about what is subsisting at the moment, what is subsisting and binding is the latest judgment on the same issue. But that's not the issue. I'm not interested in the legal gymnastics of this matter. I am not interested in who is right and who is wrong in terms of those legal jargons, because the Bible said, the letter killeth, but the spirit giveth life. I'm more interested in what is good for Abia. And that is why I came here to tell the whole world that the issue at stake is the attempted coup, civilian coup, the covert and overt maneuvers of some individuals behind the scene and after the scene and in front of the scene to remove a democratically elected governor of Abia State using Appian way. That is why I'm here. To say that this cannot be allowed to happen in Nigeria. To tell the world that if a particular court, somewhere in Umuikai, or in Gwagwalada, or in Otako, wakes up one morning and takes a decision that Buhari's certificate has some K-leg, and then that particular judge in that obscure part of Nigeria begins to say that Buhari should be removed with immediate effect, and one individual fidgeting in her neck hands over certificate of return to whoever cares, and that individual marches to House of Rock to be sworn in, that this country will end up in anarchy, that this country will be swallowed by disaster. That is why I'm here, to make a clear analogy between this aberration that has happened in Abia State, to which some people are keeping quiet.
Are you implying that INEC should not have obeyed the court judgment?
INEC should have exercised discretion as allowed by the law. They have 5 days to issue certificate of return by the law. And the courts that curiously, that Justice Abba, that curiously went to court and started using military terms, immediate effect, immediately, immediate effect, immediately. How can you tell a man that he has committed an offense that is backed up with a death sentence like murder, in which you know that there is an irreversible damage done to that individual if he is killed immediately, and you know that the law of Nigeria allows that man the right of appeal up to the Supreme Court, and then the judge will say, kill this man immediately. If you kill the man immediately, and upon appeal, up to the Supreme Court, it is discovered that the man is innocent. Are you going to undo the life that you have destroyed? A governor of a state is a masquerade. It takes time and resources and effort by over 4 million Abians to make a governor. And you cannot remove a governor in a twinkle of an eye. That is why in the election petition tribunals, chances are allowed for individuals to explore all the opportunities at their disposal. So that at the end of the day, justice will not only be done, but justice must be seen to have been done.
Okay.
But when you hurriedly...
Excuse me, are you a legal practitioner?
I am an Abian, an interested Abian. And whatever I said here that is legally disputed, I will key to it. No, I'm lucky I have a legal practitioner here. Yes. But what I'm telling you is that even without recourse to whatever background I have, that the law is straight and the law is straightforward and the law is clear that if I say, madam, you committed murder, I must give you time, not just at the first court, but at the appellate court, at the Supreme Court, to prove beyond reasonable doubt that you committed murder. So that when you are eventually executed, justice must not have been seen to be done. Justice must not have been done, but must have been seen to be done. But in this case, hold on, for you to understand where I'm going.
Mr. Eze, please, please, Mr. Eze.
Okay, but are you getting my trend?
We have to manage our time, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Now, I have to come to the legal yet again. Yeah. Okay. The first court ruled that Ikpeazu should immediately vacate the seat. Yes. The second one, and then INEC should give Oga the certificate of return. Yes. The second one ruled that Ikpeazu's tax papers were not forged, they were okay. So right now, who is the governor of Abia State?
Now, in view of the, in any event, the starting point to the answer to this is that the matter is on appeal presently. Okay. It's on appeal. Okay. And by virtue of it being on appeal, and then there is a stay of execution or stay of proceedings in respect. So Dr. Ikpeazu
is still the governor.
Still remains the governor until a pronouncement by the appellate court that the judgment of the High Court is affirmed, declaring him to be. Then we look at the other aspect, the other judgments that have just been pronounced upon now. Mm-hmm. Now, if the other party are aggrieved, perhaps they will take the matter to Court of Appeal. Then the matter will now be consolidated. That can be done.
What happened to the certificate that Oga is holding?
Well, there is a pronouncement already that there's a process proceeding. So nothing can be done until there is a pronouncement at the Court of Appeal that the judgment is reversed or affirmed. If it is reversed, then the certificate of return goes nowhere.
So as it is now, there are two people holding certificate of returns in Abia State.
No, it is. In fact, the thing is this: it's like the status quo remain. Ikpeazu remains the governor until there is a pronouncement. There is a judgment, fine, saying your tax papers and whatever that leads to that pronouncement. That's okay. Certificate of return. But then that same court, there are the safeguards within our judicial system. If anything happens, the court is there to make pronouncement, and then for you to have a step to go on appeal.
Let's step back a bit.
Okay.
Did Oga have a right? I mean, based on the facts he brought before the court, did he have a case?
Well, from my reading of the papers and what have you, the entire material, the matter had been heard before the election. It had been Start Matters is a pre-election issue. And then from there has been an effort before now that the matter, one judge was protested against and all what's not, until it finally ended up at the Court of Justice Abang, who had to eventually make a pronouncement, which it did. So since 2014 till date. So that's about 2 years from now. So in between, he has a right to ventilate his grievance. That's why he went to court. And the court has now said, okay, fine, you are right. But then Governor Ikpeazu also has a right to go on appeal. And he has, in fact, his lawyers filed 50 counts of appeal